Backlash is coming up on Saturday, and we are here to talk about it. None other than the executive consultant, as well as the Mark Victor Rodriguez, and this is actually going to be quite entertaining for me, and I will tell you why. And that's simply because I have not been on with the Mark Victor Rodriguez in quite some time. It's been a hot minute.
That is
Vic. How the hell are you?
I'm good. Just chilling, fam. Just chilling.
Good. Chilling.
Yeah.
All right, we're here. You got Mad Dog Kelly, you got Fernando. What's going on? Backlash is this Saturday. 3 weeks. I feel like I just left Vegas. I really do for WrestleMania. And now we are here for Backlash. 5-match card. Doubt of another match is going to get announced. Thank you, Triple H, again, because I still don't believe that 5 matches is what should be on the PLE. I think it should be at least 7. 6 at the sweet spot. If you're going to have a pre-show match, then 6, and then a pre-show match to make it 7. But that's fine. Damn, Mister, I'm hoping he's not watching because that was kind of effed up, don't you think? At least it ain't Mike. Come on, my guy. Myself, the Mark Victor Rodriguez. Let's dive right into it. Going to be quick on this one. Backlash 2025 this coming week on St. Louis. First match we're going to talk about is the former World Heavyweight Champion Gunther facing none other than Pat McAfee. Are you excited about this match? Who you got winning? Who you got walking out with their hand raised high?
Well, I mean, it's interesting because after the loss to Jey Uso, I feel like they're doing this match to kind of keep Gunther looking strong. I really don't see the point of Pat McAfee doing it, but it makes sense. It gets people talking. So I seriously think Gunther's going to win, but it's going to be a match. You know, it's going to be very similar to Adam Cole versus Pat McAfee, where it was all over the place. But then Pat McAfee ended up getting the win. I highly doubt that Pat McAfee is going to beat Gunther. Highly doubt that. So, you know, we'll see what happens with that. But, you know, the fact that he's getting back in the ring says a lot. So we'll see.
Pat McAfee probably had the itch to get back into the ring. I think this is a good thing. Pat McAfee is extremely popular with the WWE Universe, as we all know. And Gunther going after him like that draws heat on Gunther that he might have lost a little bit when he lost the World Heavyweight Championship to Jey Uso at WrestleMania by tapping out. So this is a good way to get Gunther back into where he needs to be. And the rumors are true. And he and Goldberg are going to have Goldberg's last match, which I think will be a very good idea. You need to have him built up. You need to have him looking strong. I think Gunther wins. I think Gunther wins cleanly, not necessarily easily, but cleanly coming up this Saturday. Looking forward to that. Next match we want to talk about for the Intercontinental Championship. None other than Lyra Valkyria, as my co-host calls her feathers, defending her Intercontinental Championship against none other than the man, Becky Lynch. What about this matchup? Are you excited for you? Who do you see walking around with that strap?
Becky Lynch, actually. You know, I think that, you know, her new little heel run is going to work nicely, even though it's kind of rushed. I really don't think that Lyra Valkyria needs the belt anymore. Yeah, and then, you know, I think it's kind of a fast way to bring Becky Lynch back in and just have her feel dominant. Plus, it's a belt she's never had. So, yeah, because I don't think Lyra needs it at this point, but Becky is definitely pulling something out of Lyra because Lyra has just been like a baby face with good matches, but not really impactful.
Yeah, I think Lyra Valkyria has had a very good Intercontinental Championship run as far as being solid. I don't think she's as entertaining as she could be, but I think she puts on very good matches. I think she's a good hand. I think this is her best work that she's done. Of course, she's facing Becky Lynch, but I think Becky Lynch is going to win coming up on Saturday. She's given Lyra that rub the entire time by having Lyra kind of, except for when she attacked her, of course, always get the comeuppance on her. But I think this is just to have the feud going with Bayley. She mentions Bayley every single week, and I think Bayley's coming back. And either screws Becky out of that championship or more likely goes after the Intercontinental Championship with Becky holding that championship. And that's where I think it's going to go. They're going United States Championship, fatal 4-way match. Jacob Fatu, newly crowned United States champion, defending against LA Knight, Damian Priest, as well as the Scottish Terminator, Drew McIntyre. Who you think walking out with the victory over the other three.
Well, I still think that Jacob needs the belt. I don't think anybody else needs that belt.
You don't think Damian Priest needs that belt?
No.
But
not that one.
What belt do you think he needs? The Speed Championship?
No, I don't think he needs a belt right now. He already had his run with a belt. I don't think he needs one.
And it sucks.
He had his run with the briefcase, and then he got the belt, did the Puerto Rican Day Parade, and then sucks. And like
you're not acknowledging the fact that his world title reign was awful, horrible.
It wasn't that bad.
It was that bad.
The representation that was needed out of that was good.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
all right, let's Kofi Kingston a world title. Okay, all right, go ahead.
Exactly. So, LA Knight doesn't need it anymore. Clearly, Drew McIntyre doesn't need it. And so, I mean, they're all just giving Jacob the major rub on this one. I think there's going to be some shenanigans where. The story continues because right now there's a story between Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre, which really isn't doing much. But it's just a big rub for Jacob, and see what happens with Jacob.
Who do you think Jacob pins to retain the championship?
Probably Priest.
Exactly. Let's go ahead and get to the person who should have been released last week. Damian Priest is going to take the loss to none other than Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu walks out still United States champion. And I just need people to get on board with the fact that Damian Priest is horrible. Here's a champion you can be proud of. Your Intercontinental Champion, Dirty Dominic Mysterio, facing somebody who actually could be a very good Intercontinental Champion if it wasn't the fact that Dirty Dom has it, and that is Penta. Who do you got walking out with the championship on this one?
Oh, well, honestly, it could be Penta if the story is between Dominic Mysterio and Finn Balor. If Finn Balor comes out and does some shenanigans, right? But Dominic is in his trolling phase with the championship. So I think he's gonna hold on to it for a little while, just like he did the North American Championship.
I don't know why y'all saying Penta. Dirty Dom clearly has this. It's going to be a lot of story between Dirty Dom and Finn. It's going to be a story that's not going to be resolved so much in the next couple of weeks. They're going to help Dirty Dom retain the Intercontinental Championship because Dirty Dom is going to go down as being one of the greatest Intercontinental champions of all time, just like he is the greatest North American champion of all time. Good pick, executive consultant. Last but not least, let's come down to our main event. It is for the last time WWE Champion. I refuse to call him the Undisputed WWE Champion. The WWE Champion, the last champion, John Cena, defending his championship against the hometown hero, Randy Orton, who's looking for number 15. Vic, go ahead.
Well, clearly it's going to steal the show. It's going to be the match of the night. Cena and Randy are clearly going to put on a show. So, but Cena's clearly going to retain through some type of shenanigans. But, there's definitely going to be some really nice RKOs out of this match, especially him being at home.
This won't be their best match, especially since Cena can only wrestle on a limited capability. In case you didn't know what that means he still does shoot stuff and does not want to injure himself, so he does not do anything too risky. If you look at his last 3 matches, you'll see he doesn't do too much. He does enough to entertain you, but does not do too much. Actually, all his matches since he really blew up big time, if you really pay attention to it, he wrestles very limited. But these two are still going to want to do something. No, the Miz goes out there and does stuff. Don't insult the Miz. Don't do it. Okay? What we're not going to do is insult the most.
Do you not remember the argument he had with Daniel Bryan like 10 years ago? He wrestles safe. He never gets injured.
Yeah, well, Daniel Bryan is how old and had to retire and has all these issues, right? And Miz is still going. That's all I know. And Jonathan Horatio Rodriguez, Tom Brady, the GOAT, heel Tupac Cena, I will never call it because that's just, it makes no sense to me.
Because he's a mic skill guy.
LOL, Mike. John Cena retains. I don't think it's any question. Randy Orton is not going to win the championship. It's just to have John Cena solidify his heel status, which is up and down for me. But that's the way it is. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Backlash. Triple H, 5 matches. Look how quickly we got through that.
A St. Louis house show.
A St. Louis house show. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it for us here today. I got to work with Vic for the first time in like 14 years.
You see how much Chris exaggerates?
We're on for 14 years. Really.
He loves to exaggerate, Chris.
Okay, 13.
Yeah, see?
13.
Sure, man. Just a second.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure that you are watching us for the SmackDown Penitentiary on Saturday. Mark Victor Rodriguez should be on that one. So looking forward to that. That's the same day as Backlash, and we'll probably have a Backlash review coming up either Saturday night or Sunday. Stay tuned to Unpopular Wrestling on our social media so you can find out the information. Thanks so much for watching us tonight. I doubt that they add one more tomorrow, Jeffrey. For the Mark Victor Rodriguez, I'm the executive consultant. We'll see you right here next time on Unpopular Review.